Hello everyone, welcome back to this Thursday, and wow, this show's going to be a lot about basketball, very little about anything else. But we're going to kick it right off. We are going to talk about Anthony Davis going to the LA Lakers, and why am I a disappointed Lakers fan? It's because I've seen this before. Dwight Howard waiting, please, don't let the 76ers get the pick. Oh, we got D'Angelo Russell traded. Oh, we got Brandon Ingram traded. Oh, we got Lonzo Ball, who, to be honest, wasn't the biggest fan of. I actually like Dennis Smith Jr. more and De'Aaron Fox. I like those two guys more. But hey, still, Lonzo, good defensive player, good passer, but traded. So, all those years just sucking, just being horrible. We got Kyle Kuzma. Nothing against Kyle Kuzma. He's a good three-point player. But that's not what you want out of all this. Sure, you got Anthony Davis, but Anthony Davis has done nothing in the NBA. He's won one playoff series. You could say, well, they didn't get talent for him. Drew Holiday, one of the most underrated players in the league. Nikola Mirotic, and I apologize if I butchered that name. Good 3-and-D player for the 4 position. Julius Randle broke out a couple years ago for the Lakers. Looked really good. They let him walk. He goes to the Pelicans on a really good deal. Has a great year. They traded and got him Boogie Cousins. To be fair, dumb trade. But Cousins got hurt. That's not their fault. Anthony Davis cannot carry a team. And you can be like, well, he's got LeBron. LeBron needs shooters. Anthony Davis is a paint guy. What happened with Kevin Love? What happened with Chris Bosh? Those guys are better shooters than Anthony Davis. And they disappeared. Now, to be fair, LeBron had Kyrie. Great shooter. Of course we want the ball in Kyrie's hands. LeBron had Dwayne Wade, not Raid. Great shooter. You want the ball in his hands to take the shot. Now, it's different with Anthony Davis because the great shooter that you have is Kyle Kuzma, and he's developing his shot still. He's a good shooter, but we don't know if he will be great at shooting. This trade has disaster written all over it. They don't have enough money to go sign another max slot guy. Okay, it's really just mind-boggling stupid of how they did it. Pretty much, after the deal was complete, they called and asked the Pelicans, hey, can we hold off this a bit so we can get some more money and all that? Why should the Pelicans say yes? It's like, no, we got what we wanted. No. Do you want Anthony Davis too? Well, we have the Boston Celtics on this line. We can just dial this up and we can cancel this trade. Can possibly get some first-round picks, multiple. Can possibly move up a couple slots and then trade that for with what we want. The Lakers and I just saw that they're reportedly going to buy into the second round. So you're going to have what? 4-3-2 rookies with that team as well? Second round rookies. We're not talking 4th overall pick, second round. Yeah, this has got disaster written all over it. Well, you got 3 years. Anthony Davis, he just said, yeah, I will sign next year. I don't know if that's going to happen. All these guarantees, Kyrie Irving, I'm going to sign in Boston. Looks like he's going to the Nets. I can't trust that I'm going to sign here next year. Because, let's face it, LeBron, he's going against Father Time. He's not going to win for much longer. He's a big guy. He's getting older. His body will deteriorate. First sign, injury last year. Let's look at Anthony Davis. He's been hurt, and he's not carried a team. So if LeBron is out, do you think Anthony Davis can carry this team to the playoffs? If Father Time takes LeBron, and LeBron goes to, I'll say above average player, not great, above average player, because I don't think LeBron will all of a sudden just fall off to be a bad player. I think he'd be above average. Do you think Anthony Davis can carry this team to the playoffs? I don't. I think they'll be right back here next year. And the Pelicans will look like geniuses. Dave Griffin, genius. Okay, let's talk about a trade I'm excited about for both teams because I don't think there's a loser in this trade. Mike Conley goes from Memphis to Utah. I like the deal. The Jazz get a point guard that can play defense, can score somewhat, but is a leader and has been in the playoffs for deep runs. While the Grizzlies get Grayson Allen, who is a young player who had some success in Duke, but we don't know how he'll do in the NBA. Kyle Korver, great three-point shooter, bit older, don't really know how big of an impact he'll have. Jay Crowder, good 3-and-D, and 2 first-round picks. And they got Mike Conley's salary off the books. Overall, this is a win-win for both teams. And I'm excited to see with what the Jazz look like next year, who are currently one of my secret favorites to be in the NBA Finals. Depending on how every team's going to look, I'll make a prediction after the free agency hits, and I'll just say my thoughts. Well, look at the Grizzlies, a nice young team that's most likely going to draft John Morant. That's going to have another first-round pick, so maybe they can get someone else, too, to pair alongside with him. They already have Jaren Jackson, and they kind of need to be bad next year, too, to keep their first-round pick, because they are tanking. I don't remember how protected it is against Celtics, but I know it's protected. And then 2021, Celtics get it. So they have 2019-2020 to build a team. And if they lose their pick next year, at least they still have the Jazz first-round pick. But they have that slot, they have that time frame to build a team to try to get in the playoffs so they don't lose a lottery pick. And when you look at the Jazz, they have Donovan Mitchell, who could still use some guidance. He's still a young player. You got Rudy Gobert, who is a good player. You got now Mike Conley, who is a good player, bit older, not worth his salary really. But with Mitchell's contract being a rookie deal still, I don't hate it. And I don't know about Ricky Rubio. I don't know where he's going. I think he's still under contract with the Jazz. I might be wrong. But if Rubio gets traded, whoever gets him, that's a good pickup. Or if he stays, that's a great guy to have off the bench for the playoffs and for the regular season. I'm ultimately happy with both sides of the deal here. Now, for the last basketball subject for the day, I'm going to talk about the Toronto Raptors winning the NBA Finals. Now, see, I was wrong. I thought the Warriors were going to win Game 6, and I thought they were going to win Game 7. But Clay, unfortunately, got hurt, and kind of started the downfall for the Warriors. I mean, KD out, Clay out. They got Steph and Draymond now only. But I don't want to dwell. I want to celebrate. I want to be happy for the Raptors. So, what happens if Kawhi leaves? I don't think they fall off a cliff like everyone else. I think they'll be competitive. Will they be in the NBA Finals? No, but I think they're in the playoffs. I think Siakam, he looks really good. Really excited to see him play next year. Kyle Lowry, probably their greatest player in franchise history just due to his longevity and the fact he's won a title with the Raptors as well. And you also have guys that, if they keep Danny Green, good 3-and-D player. And they have depth. I mean, Marc Gasol, he's gone. There's really nothing you can say there. He's too old, even if you want to keep him long term. He won't do much. And they don't really have any great picks. I mean, they don't even have their first round pick. They traded to Spurs. There's nothing that I'm going to say is that they repeat next year. I think the Raptors will be good, but they will not be great. While if Kawhi leaves, wherever he goes, they'll be great. They'll be competitive. Clippers, good. If he wants to return to the Spurs, yeah, they'll be great. And maybe the Knicks. I mean, if the Knicks make an offer, who knows? It's all up in the air right now. And the Raptors, they'll be good, but not great this year, but just celebrate right now. This is Canada's first championship in a major sport since the Montreal Canadiens. Now, I know they won the MLS Cup, but in North America, it's more or less hockey, basketball is a bit popular than soccer. Not saying they don't have their fans there, but the Raptors winning that championship means so much more to the community than probably winning a MLS championship. Because with what it does, it shows younger kids who are like 4 or 5 years old that, hey, look, you can win a championship. Look, we the North, we're the ultimate underdogs and we won. You can do it too. And it's going to be a very interesting memo because we already see more Canadian players entering the NBA draft and getting drafted. I mean, a couple years ago, we had back-to-back first-round picks in Anthony Bennett and Andrew Wiggins. Neither one really lived up to their potential, but we had a guy who pulled out of the NBA draft in Andrew Nembhard for the Gators. Looked good his freshman year. Probably smarter for him to go back for a sophomore year, get a bit more progressive in his game. I think he'll enter the draft next year, and I think he'll be a lottery pick. I don't think top 5, I don't think top 10. I think lottery pick, 11 through 14, that's right where I'd slot him. But Canada, this win's going to help grow their basketball culture, and it's going to be really important in my opinion. So I know this topic's a couple weeks old, but I just kind of want to give my thoughts on it. Why I like the Jaguars not re-signing Jalen Ramsey. I want to be straight. I'm going to be honest with what I think about Jalen Ramsey. Great player, has all the talent in the world, but talks way too much. And that makes you wonder, does he talk too much in the locker room? I'm not in the locker room, so I won't say he does or does not. If I get confirmation on it, I'd appreciate that, fellow Jaguars. Teammates of Jalen Ramsey, if you want to verify that, please do so. I understand if he's on your team still, so you don't want to, but afterwards, could you help? But anyways, let's get back on track. Ramsey talks way too much, and that's bulletin board proof. That is what you put on your bulletin board, like, he said that. Calling Josh Allen trash. The Bills won that game. He talks way too much for a player that I'm going to pay a lot of money. Now I can say Richard Sherman talks a lot and he got paid money. Richard Sherman has earned the right to talk. He didn't all of a sudden just start talking out of nowhere. Stanford educated and is a great cornerback and won a Super Bowl. Jalen Ramsey said they're going to go up and beat the Patriots in the AFC Championship game. What happened? The New England Patriots beat them because the defense collapsed. You can say what you want about Blake Bortles and how they called that offense. No. Your strength is your defense. Your defense should have won that. End of the story. And what happened the following year? Jaguars sucked again. Maybe that's telling you something. Maybe all this talk, maybe the talky players aren't what's going to win you games. Richard Sherman kicked out of Seattle. Michael Bennett kicked out of Seattle. Seattle had the biggest talkers in the locker room. What'd they do? They kicked them all out, went back to the playoffs. Steelers kicked Antonio Brown out, kicked a talker out, kicked out the drama. They might be back in the playoffs. If the Steelers get back in, maybe it's showing something. Maybe teams don't want the talk. Look at New England Patriots. Name one player that talks. Name one player that runs their mouth. Everyone's like, oh, we got to go interview him. Doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. And when you talk too much, you kind of wear out your welcome. You become a headache for a coach because all they're dealing with at press conferences, it doesn't matter with what he says. No, we got to ask me football questions. That's what the coach said. I can remember back when Antonio Brown did the Facebook Live thing and the press conference Mike Tomlin had preparing for the AFC Championship game. All they want to talk about is Facebook Live, and he asked for football questions. It gets annoying over time when you have these players that are just like, me, and all the media is asking the coaches, what do you think about him? What do you think about him? He's good, yeah, but I want to talk about football. Notice there's no issue in New England. Notice every team that has long-term success, there's no talkers. Talkers, yes, they're good players. Deion Sanders talked his mouth he could talk someone's ear off. Good player. Won some Super Bowls, but never stayed at a franchise too long. They wear out their welcome. Jalen Ramsey wore out his welcome. He's going to be out the door.